Hi, everyone. My name is Sam Schmidt, and I am the marketing writer and project coordinator for the student recruitment and global outreach team at University of Chicago Harris School of Public Policy. I've been in my role for 2.5 years now, and prior to that, I was a marketer in a different higher ed setting. And then prior to that, I was a writing tutor and English major for 6 years, including my bachelor's and master's. So I come from a strong writing background. I did not come from as much of a public policy background, which was the point of intrigue of this program for me. I'll pass it on to Gabe.
Hello, yeah, so my name is Gabe Swank, and my background's I was actually in the private sector, so I do finance and strategy work, and currently I sit on the board of some organization, I guess one at the moment, a nonprofit named Upward Scholars.
I'm Caroline Rakas-Wojciechowski. My background is mostly in international development work, both from the nonprofit sector and recently from the consulting sector. So that's fun. I still currently serve on the board for the Youth Sustainability Development Network based out of Nigeria, an organization very near and dear to me that focuses on youth empowerment and education. And they're actually the reason why I decided to pursue a master's at George Washington University, master's in education and human development. And I started a new job at Encompass Consulting in November 16th. So I will be a project coordinator supporting a USAID gender development team.
I would say the other 2 points I was going to say is I think actually just my experience of David, the instructor, he's fantastic. I mean, both the one-on-one interaction I had with him, I think how supportive he is in terms of making sure the program's teed up for what you need and making sure you get out of it what you want and need. But also I think, just the level of effort he put into it. I mean, it was clear, like a lot of heart and thought and time went into providing great materials, structuring the program. He was very generous with his time. And then I think the kind of adjacent to Carolyn's point, the culture and community. So I walked away from the sessions energized and enthusiastic and feeling good. I've done, don't get me wrong, I love finance, but I've done things similar around finance, and that was never the experience at the end of those. It was not as pleasant, affirming a process. So I think, yeah, the walking, the culture of the community, both I think my small group, but I think in general was really affirming and positive.
And I'm just going to hop in before we go on to the next question. Something Gabe said about the community and how you really just walk away feeling more energized and excited about writing, which certainly was never the thought that would have crossed my mind prior to this program. But Sam was part of my group, and she and I still talk. She and I still talk all the time. We talk about policy issues that we're passionate about. We soundboard ideas off of one another. If you were reading this, what else would you like to know? What would really help drive the point home? And it's just learning other people's processes and seeing those perspectives that you yourself would not have initially considered. You will create an amazing network of contacts just through this program alone. And I think this program is unique because it also attracts a certain type of collaborative person who is willing to just work with you and encourage you in an appreciative lens kind of way. So sorry to interrupt, but I think that's really a unique attribute of this program.
Yeah, I'd like to echo that. The global component of virtual learning is huge. We had somebody joining us from India, and to him it was 7 a.m. To us it was 8 p.m. But it was just so cool to be joining people from basically around the world, and being able to have those small group discussions really did make it still feel the same feeling as being in person in a lot of ways. like, I think without the breakout groups, it might have felt a bit more like a lecture, but it was those small group discussions. And then the individualized feedback that we would get both from Aaliyah Bean and from David Christinger on our essays was incredible. Like, they would give in-depth commentary on our essays. And I thought that's really pretty amazing that a professor from University of Chicago is putting these in-depth comments in the margins of my essay. Like, and I feel like my writing grew and changed as a result of that. Like, I think that's a really good point you make. So a lot of the assignments are pretty flexible. And so, like, if you have a really minimum amount of time to devote to it, you could probably spend a couple of hours a week. But the number of resources available, if you want to do a deep dive and really nerd out, which I did, there's like probably 5 or 6 hours worth of things that you could delve into on any given week, because there's lectures and there's readings and there's articles and there's just like so many different places where you can learn more. And so, yeah, like, you know, given like we all have busy set schedules, I think it's great that there's that flexibility between if you want to do that deep dive or if you want to, you know, kind of like go lighter on it for that week if you have a really hectic work schedule. This class helps you hone in on your passions. If you're not a policy person, if you don't come from that policy background, I 100% guarantee you that there is something in your life that is related to policy that you care very much about, and this class will help you find that and write about that and communicate it in a really compelling way that could, you know, change policy, which is great.